as a person who's had that contract with the other superhero, it's a terrible way to do business. It really is. Because, you know, they can grab you whenever they want you, and you're not really making the money if you're just doing a cameo. So it's rough. If you're not, Iron Man, it could not be that much fun. I think this is a better thing, and everybody feels looser and excited and in the right place.
Are you smiling?
Yes.
Sarcastically?
Welcome to IGN's roundtable discussion with the cast of Creature Commandos, the first entry in the new DC universe. Frank, let's start with you. How does Rick Flag Sr. Compare to his son, who we've seen in the Suicide Squad?
He's better. No, he doesn't really compare to him, I don't think, in any way, character-wise. I think, Rick Flag Sr. is a he's a general. He's a real leader, and I don't think my son was. Rest his soul. I don't think he was that.
Right. It definitely haunts him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a driving, like we're doing Peacemaker now, and my son is the driving force, is kind of like the through line to my existence on the show.
Maria, how is the princess's life changed by the arrival of the Commandos?
Well, she's an interesting character. She might be seen like she's somebody that needs protection, but I think she's a very smart grown-up who just knows how to talk to people. Her life changed in a way of like she has the company of Americans now, and she's really excited. She likes this country. She likes these people. She likes their music, and they're strong men. So I think she might be falling in love, or maybe not. Who knows?
Oh, wow.
She is.
Maybe.
Look at me.
Maybe.
Guiding light over here.
Yeah.
Zoe, is Nina maybe the best person on the team? She doesn't seem, I've seen the first 5 episodes, she doesn't seem to have ever done anything bad in her life.
Except be half a fish.
Is that bad though?
No, I don't think so. But I think some of the humans have really scorned her whole life, and she's I think has really tried to find her tribe. But no, she has a heart of gold, I think, and despite having a tough life. And she forges these sweet relationships that are unexpected with Bride and GI Robot. Yeah, and I think she kind of is the pathos of the season.
Yeah.
More like a heart of goldfish.
Don't leave me.
You are incorrigible.
Thank you.
Lean forward. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing about the team, though, right? Is that it's kind of like they're framed as bad guys in a way, but actually, I'm not sure that any of them really are.
Some of them.
I am.
You're evil.
He became a bad guy.
Okay.
He used the tragedy in his life to take a wrong turn.
Is that my daughter?
Yeah, he had his daughter and his wife. It comes. You probably haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil it, but he does it. That's probably in the comics, so it's been spoiled. His origin story.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about, because he seems irredeemable when we see him in episodes 1 through 5 at least.
Yeah, he became a bad man.
Is he redeemable ultimately?
Aren't we all?
Only in that you can, I guess, understand how he turned. But he'll kill you.
Really, and he's really good in a fight also.
He'll kill you.
Right. All he has to do is take his clothes off, and then he starts melting. Fire. Right.
No, we fought. You didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, I know. I was holding back.
You were?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I know you weren't. You beat me.
I'm
spoiler.
Are you guys talking about in real life or in?
No.
No.
Okay.
No. I would never fight him in real life.
Yeah. I know.
So,
Krav McGraw?
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw. That's it.
Tug McGraw.
Tug McGraw.
Ali McGraw. Hey. No, I'm old.
Ali Sheedy.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's just do this for the rest of the day. Sean, you get to play 2 characters.
I do.
Both of whom are really funny and also really heartwarming. Can you talk a little bit about finding the those aspects of the characters, but also how you differentiated between the two.
Weasel I had played before in Suicide Squad, and it was really fun to find some more depth to the Weasel because he's such sort of just comic relief in Suicide Squad and just like grunting and some screeching and that sort of thing. It's still grunting and screeching and licking, but
Are you doing the licking sounds?
I do all of it, man. I do all of it. Everything you hear the Weasel do, I am alone in a booth doing somewhere. And yeah, so but it was actually pretty cool to find some kind of heart inside the Weasel, and it's weird, it's an interesting acting exercise trying to like bring life to this character through limited resources. You're only using your growling and that kind of thing. So that was cool. And then G.I. Robot's different character. We would record him. Mostly did those on different days, so it wasn't like I was going in and doing both all at once. But G.I. was also he's super fun. For him, it was about, for me, just like kind of finding that voice, and then once you get it, like, again, it's like a limited. I have this limited toolkit, but I still have to construct a hopefully complete performance, even though he's a robot and he talks like a robot.
Yeah, I was talking to James and Dean earlier, and without getting into spoilers, there's an episode where he finally gets to kind of do what he's been wanting to do for a while, and it's like, like you feel this like sense of relief.
You can say kill Nazis. I think
Kill Nazis, yes.
I mean, I don't want to offend any Nazi viewers. That might be why. No,
Yeah, that's one group we don't have to worry about.
there we go.
offending.
Right. No, it's
Yeah.
good.
We're
And
allowed to be
that's a
offensive
way in. That's a way in
Nazis.
also. I also hate Nazis, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
I think we probably all agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
we're
mean,
good with.
there's nothing redeeming about Nazis.
Agreed.
It's been oh so long since G.I. Robot has sent Nazis back to hell.
So, Steve, obviously your character, we've seen him before in live action, and I think the last thing we knew was that Amanda Waller's daughter had kind of outed her mom as being a bad person in a way.
Busted her, yeah.
How has that affected your career track?
I mean, it's given me a lot more to do in season two, so thank you. No, I mean, it's been great. We're shooting season 2 right now. I think I've worked with Frank more than I've worked with Cena this season, and I have a lot more stuff going on with Economos that I can't divulge right now.
Sure.
Sorry, internet.
He feels like he feels like a character who connects different groups in a way, because we also saw him in Shazam, right?
Definitely connective tissue. Yeah.
Yeah. What, do you have an added certain approach to being connective tissue?
No, I mean, it really is, not being a superhero and just being kind of a computer dork. There's a lot of me in Economos, and, in the aspects of Economos wishes he could go out and shoot guns and fight people, but he's honestly too terrified to do that. And much like I would be, Steve, you want to go to a gun range? I want to, but I'm afraid I'll shoot my own kneecap or something, So it's not a big stretch for me.
And you don't have to put on the superhero costumes either, which is probably nice.
No.
They couldn't fight.
No, that would be a lot of material. And no prosthetics or hair and makeup's is an easy day for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Although there was that whole bit about whether or not you dye your beard in season 1, wasn't there?
Look at this. This still doesn't look normal. Holy shit. Monday they dyed this for an hour. Yeah, dude. Ugh. I look like an idiot.
You can't tell, man. You can't tell it's done.
Really?
Yeah, no.
The fact that this isn't the same.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know.
A lot of people don't have the same
no.
color
I don't know.
pubic
man.
hair. I mean, secondary. Secondary hair is.
Yeah, it doesn't look at all like he just went to a Halloween store and like.
After season 1, James was like, I asked him, I said, so what do we have to do for season 2? He's like, we don't mention the beard at all, so you can do whatever you want, aside from cutting it.
So, David and Indira are not here to talk about The Bride and Frankenstein, so maybe you guys can talk to us a little bit about them. Nina, as you mentioned, does have a relationship with The Bride that sort of develops. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, they're an unlikely duo, but they both have really tragic origin stories, and so they somehow find each other in this motley crew, and it's a moving, their relationship is, I found pretty moving. It was really fun to work with Indira. She was in London and I was in New York, and just figuring out where these two meet was a joy. And she's such a good bride. I can't imagine anyone else. And her voice, she's such a skilled performer too. I was a fan of hers before working with her, so I was trying to check the girl crush vibes, but
so you guys, you're on Zoom. You're in a VO booth. She's in a VO booth. Different continents, and then you're on Zoom also, so you can like actually interact, do the scene together though.
Yeah, and it was, because the writing is so good, and she's so good, and James is there bringing as much energy to the take as we are, that it was one of the rare moments where you forget that that someone's on a different continent and you're on a computer and you're alone,
Right, yeah.
It did feel really alive.
Yeah. Frank, how about Rick and the Frankenstein monster?
Yeah, with Harbour, it was another case of, I've known, David and I had done a movie a long time ago together, so I've known him for a while, but, he's such a great performer. He came in and was doing Frankenstein, and I had a moment of, I'm gonna get fired from this. I suck. I mean, this guy is, this guy's amazing. I mean, his level of performance in the booth was, I was laughing. I was on the ground. He had me hysterical. And then he was like a little heartbreaking, and I was like, what am I going to add to this? And it was, that's how much of a genius James Gunn is, because he made me work somehow.
Right.
And, but I was so impressed, and that's when I realized, this is going to be something really special.
Yeah, it's great. We can't really talk too much spoilers, but like the scenes that you guys are talking about are awesome.
Yeah.
So for everyone, like obviously James Gunn, like we all bow to James Gunn. He's amazing. Was there any particular thing that he brought to any of your characters that made you say, oh, like this is it, like I love this guy, I love Dr. Phosphorus or the princess or whoever?
Sure.
All of it.
All of it, yeah.
I have to stop short of bowing to him, though.
It's a different dynamic.
Holidays are awkward.
Yeah, that would be strange.
Yeah.
Hey, James. Merry Christmas.
But it really was, like, it's such a cool thing to work on a project and say that, like, you love everybody's performance and you really mean it. You're not just saying it.
I never say that about anybody else I work with.
It's really cool. It was right there in the script. It was like reading the script the first time. I'm like, man, and I've read everything James has ever written, basically. And I'm like, this might be my favorite thing he's written.
And that's it. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but at the level I'm at, I get a lot of scripts that aren't really great.
Yeah.
And so to read this, and you're like, wait a minute. First of all, why is he offering this to me? Second of all, can this be this good, right? Can it be this good? It really is actor proof. It really is. I mean, that's how well it's written.
Actor proof.
It really is, and I can't say enough about the words, and that's really where it all begins. And we kind of fall into place. But without that, this would be very hard to pull off.
Yeah.
And Maria brought up a point earlier that I thought was so true, which is like these characters are not one thing. There's so much nuance to them, and anytime you think you can write them off, they come in and kind of subvert your expectations.
Right, yeah, definitely.
And also what I think James does brilliantly, I'm allowed to talk highly of him, not only because he's a genius, but because I'm not that.
You're not related.
Yeah.
You might spend Christmas with the...
I hope so one day.
Yeah.
No, somehow when you watch his stuff, when you read his stuff, you always feel empathy, but it's funny at the same time. And it has like a tragedy, comedy element, which is like a blurred line between this. It's like humanity in these creatures that are not humans.
Right.
But at the same time, you are aware that they're not good creatures, but you like them.
Yeah.
And it's like playing with this, am I supposed to empathize with them, am I not? And same when I got a message from him that he's writing something, because my character doesn't exist in Creature Commandos. So he wrote this and he told me that he's going to send me a script, and I was like, I'm fully aware that it's going to be brilliant, no matter what is it. But when I read it, I was like, whoa. And also, for me as Eastern European, it works on another level, that is, he's bringing authenticity, he's bringing out representation and advocacy for representation of people from my region of the world, people that usually are not given parts in Hollywood, in the Western cinema. So it means a lot to me to share this table with all of you guys and to be a part of this conversation.
Yeah. Was there anything that you had to correct him on about the representation, where he got anything wrong?
Not at all. I think Pokolistan, our country in this show, is like a metaphor for some of the countries that we can associate it with.
I can't believe that's not a real place. I was going to
There
go.
are so many countries that,
I know. I thought for sure that was a real little country.
Same.
Yeah.
No, following what Frank said, it's like the writing that James has is you barely can make something better than this. You cannot really correct it. You cannot add anything to it. It's just perfect.
I try. Like on Peacemaker, a couple times, I thought I got a better idea than him. And I would send it to him. He'd go, give it a try, and then call me back. And then, sure as heck, I would do it, and he was 100% right. I wouldn't even call him and say he was right. I would just not put my line in there.
I guess though, I mean, a lot of folks probably wouldn't have even said try it, right? Like he's willing to let you try it at least.
Yeah, I mean, or I would not even ask. You know what I mean? It's like, depending on the person you're working with.
Right.
There's a level of respect, that, with James, even if you're changing little things, I find it that I want to ask him. I don't care what it is. It could be an and a th, but I want to ask him because he's got a method to his madness. And even if it's that little, when I do try it, I'm like, this mother.
It's true.
He's always right.
Because I often think that I'm supposed to, or there is an expectation in some of the spaces I've been in on other projects to come in ready to bring alts and improvise and stuff. And so I was prepared to do that, but you quickly learn it's like, oh, I don't need to do that.
Right, yeah.
And that's let me tell you something.
Yeah, it is.
You're breathing very thin air when you're doing this, because that's not how the world, at least my world, operates. I mean, for me, it's a lot of fixing things, and this is such a joy to just show up and do your job.
Yeah. Alan, were you surprised by how much sex and violence is in the show? I felt like you were the right person to ask.
No. Not, well, the sex, I forgot about the sex until I watched it again. Violence is something that I'm accustomed to with James's work. He's got, I'm used to great violence, surprising violence.
Great violence.
Great, I mean, that it's just like it goes a little extra, like, oh no, like, no you didn't type of moments. And humor, a lot of humor, and full characters that, humor comes out of characters, their flaws, their personalities. But the sex is great. I love,
The sex is great.
I love sex in a thing,
Especially in an animated.
In an animated thing,
Animated sex, I can't believe how good it could be.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
I
And then
remember
I agreed with you.
heavy metal.
Heavy metal.
Growing up, that
Right.
was one. When I was little, I remember seeing that and being like, oh, this is an adult thing. This is an adult animation. Just the music, the music and all of that. I guess this is that. This is the new version of that.
Yeah.
But it's also very funny and dark and sad.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's dark and sad. And the violence is, they're monsters. So there's moments of cruelty when I know my character's, there's a point where he's being very cruel to someone who's also bad. But you're like, wow, he just wants to burn their face off.
Yeah.
And he's enjoying it.
But it's kind of like, James has a way of, he's kind of turning the mirror on humanity. It's funny that this is an animated, R-rated thing, and it's really about people.
Yep.
It really is at its core. And it says a lot about people.
Yeah.
Are they the monsters or are we the
That's
monsters?
exactly what I'm getting at.
So, but then at the same time, like we know that James is making Superman, which you're in, Frank, and
But it's powerful moment.
I'm sure.
I'm in it too.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, but I wasn't going to ask you because what I
So am I, by the way. It's all right.
Yes,
It's all
of course. No, I know.
Why are you taking my thunder away, fellas? Wait, what happened here? I get 1 second. And you
I'm
get
sorry.
a
So
whole
sorry. So sorry, Frank. So sorry.
Who else is in it?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
But are you playing Dr. Phosphorus?
I can't say who I'm
Okay.
playing. That's
All right.
why you weren't going to mention it. And
That's why I wasn't gonna
respect that.
mention it. Yeah.
But I couldn't help myself.
Okay.
Yeah, because of
And now I
your
asked.
ego, mister. Juilliard.
Yeah, that was it. It was an ego moment. It's
what-
a beautiful movie, from what I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
But you're playing the same character in Superman. So the difference between doing it as a live action versus a voice performance.
Only in circumstance, like I'm in a different position in my professional life in each of these things. Like in Peacemaker, I'm now taking over for Argus. So, it's just a different, but same guy.
Right.
Same, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys want to do season 2? Is season 2 going to happen?
Okay.
Is this an offer?
Are you telling us?
Wait a minute, do we?
If we have a say in it, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Dumb question.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I think James and Peter have to talk to the bosses over at DC. Wait a minute. Wait a second.
Funny how that works, right? Actually, we had a whole riff going when he was in here about that, and he was like, "Yeah, I wrote it," and then I greenlit it.
It's kind of, it's really amazing.
Who gets the best? Without going into spoilers, who gets the best flashback story out of all you guys? I don't know if you probably don't get one.
Frankenstein.
Oh, Frankenstein.
I like yours too.
Yeah,
You've got
I like
some
yours.
good ones. You've got some good ones, but Frankenstein.
Weasel's got a good one.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's is
Frankenstein's is a lot rougher than Weasels or GI robots, though.
Yeah.
Right. Just in that
Yeah.
says a lot about Frankenstein. Right.
How
But-
crazy.
But in terms of the voice actor versus live action thing, like you guys are all, your characters could all potentially, like, are you contracted that if James calls you up to do a live action version of the princess or Dr. Phosphorus or whoever, like, is that part of the deal that you can do that, or?
No, I think the way James laid it out early on when he approached, I think all of us, is that, unlike other places, like that's what we're going to try to do, is if you're going to do the animated, you're going to do the live action, and, we're going to move you around. But there's no, as a person who's had that contract with the other superhero, it's a terrible way to do business. It really is. And
Really?
yeah, because they can grab you whenever they want you, and you're not really making the money on if you're just doing a cameo. So it's rough,
Right.
and you got to sign a 7 or 9 picture deal, and so if you're not Iron Man, it could not be that much fun. But this is a different thing, and I think by design.
Right.
I think this is a better thing, and everybody feels looser and excited and in the right place. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
It's really nice to talk to you. I really appreciate it, and good luck with the show, and hopeful for season 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.